The final
Let's
word.
go, baby.
You gotta hit that drop one more time, bro.
Oh my goodness, it is you! I cannot believe it! Greetings, Your Highness!
God.
Come on with it, baby. I gotta always try to find a new one. Baby.
Boy, that's a ooh. I'll be watching the movies like, gotcha.
Yes, indeed. So this time, when y'all put the money in the bag, when y'all donate,
Take the money out! All of it! Come on! You're wasting my time now, come on!
come on. Give me them super chats.
Man, say, but boy, Law is the hardest working dude in this game.
Come on with it.
Man,
No
shout out
shame
to
with it.
Cover 3, man. I just got off with them dudes. You know,
Okay.
Rome, Tuck, DMV, Amp was on there. Shout out to them, man. They
That's
told,
like a cover 4, man. Sure.
Right, it was really cover 5 that day. It
Oh,
was
y'all playing cover 5.
We played cover 5. But
Cover 5.
just shout out to them, man. They shooting over 2,000 people that was watching live over here today. So, you know,
Dang.
so they plug us, we plugging them. You know what I mean? That Tuesdays is cover 3. You know,
Cover 3.
So just remember that they putting people over here, we putting people over there. We know how to grow together.
I love that, man.
Love it.
Cover 3, cover 4.
Cover 3, cover 4. So
Shoot, come on with
they
it.
got these coaches talking about, I'm good. The final word. What's up with that, man?
Oh my God. Maybe it's not coveted like they said it is. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody, all money ain't good money. Remember? You know, sometimes you play Bones, Big Game James.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. So sometimes you don't go for the 25. You might lock yourself out, so you just get the 15 and keep it clean.
I get them little 5s and keep on adding it up.
Oh yeah, you play nickels?
I will play nickels. Y'all don't play nickels?
In the South, we normally don't count them, but some people count everything, spots and dots.
I can play it either way.
Either way, it's just whatever the house's rules are.
Yeah, the house
But
rules.
all money ain't
Don't let
good.
them
Your head
speak talk
either
you
way.
into Scotty.
Really, I do. I really do bust your head either way.
Okay.
If I ever sit down with you, Big, especially because you're the first one to speak to me in a disrespectful tone on Domino's.
Nah, well, hey, you know, talk is cheap. You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. We get on them bones, don't lose, because I will talk so much trash to you. I will slap them bones on that table on top of your head, too.
Challenge, come on.
We got a lot of talking today, man. People depending on us, man. You know what I'm saying? We got us, you know, a lot going on with these coaches. I really said this to Law before we went live. I said, man, I can't wait to hear from y'all. And I mean that. I'm over here like, what Big gotta say? What Law gotta say?
Come on with it.
So
It's good because we haven't spoken to each other until this moment.
Exactly. So
So it's fresh.
It's super fresh. So I'm excited, man. We finna kick it off in 10 seconds, bro.
Let's get it.
So yeah, man, let's get it.
So y'all get ready before we get this thing going.
Take the money out! All of it!
Ooh, what that boy drops. Hey, them the type of drops I'll be excited to use early. Let's go.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T-Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Man, it's time. It is time. It is time.
I'm with him.
Oh man, so you know we got the thumbnail saying we good, but we ain't gonna start with that. We gonna start with obviously what's going crazy right now is you know the betting odds of Schottenheimer being the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I want to hear what y'all gotta say. We always start with you, Big. Go.
Mr. Big. Call him Mr.
They call him Mr. Big.
Mr. Big, we leaning on you.
But not because of his size.
Not because of his size.
The voice of the nation right now. That's the voice of the nation. We done finally caught up to your voice, dog. We finally caught up to you. Yeah. The most hated to the most loved.
Well, I mean, it's not the worst selection right now. If you talk about the ones that they've already interviewed or want to interview, it's not the worst selection. He is respected in the building. I like his age. He's a Libra gang. He's only one day after me in the birthday, so I kind of might think and know his mind. I think that's why he's respected too, because I think Jerry and him probably vibe. I think he probably gave a great interview. I think he definitely did. And, you know, he's been around the block. He's been in the game 25 years. He's coached some decent offenses. So, if you're looking at the totality of who they've interviewed, I'm not going to say he's a terrible candidate. I would probably choose him over the other guys that they have looked at. But obviously, I would want other selections besides him. But if we're going to go with him and that's going to be it, as far as those guys we talked to, then, I mean, I'm just shaking my shoulders.
Yeah. So with that being said, he's been an offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator, run game coordinator. He got a laundry list of positions that he's been in, but I can say this. When he's been top 10 in rushing, top 5 in rushing. So I heard an interview speech of him this morning on 105.3 The Fan, and he was just talking about operating with the motion. So he's going to bring in more motion, more inside zone runs. So that's good for us to know. Of course, those are two different philosophies, because I heard before that Mike McCarthy didn't like the motion idea. So by Mike McCarthy being gone, and I'm not trying to put this all on Mike, but maybe you see a little bit more motion. Maybe you see a little bit more creativity from Brian Schotty. So maybe that will be a case in the situation for us. They did talk about continuity that him and Dak Prescott will exhibit. So yeah, I'm not really going to be popping any champagne bottles for Schotty, but at least we can sit back and say, all right, if we're going to draft a running back in this particular draft, lo and behold, we got somebody that can put the ball in the belly of the running back.
You know, something really interesting about Schottenheimer, and the two attributes that really has me thinking that, okay, it's a possible good fit. I don't know if it's the best fit, but it's a possible good fit, because Schottenheimer, he's practical and he's sound. That's what he is. He's a practical coach. He's sound. The key with him, if he's the hire, is going to be his staff. Who is the staff that he hires? Who is the staff that you put around Schottenheimer? That will be the key to making him successful if he's the hire, because he actually will probably, in my opinion, is the front runner in the sense, because this allows the Joneses to do what they always do, to still have control, to still have their hand in the pot and be able to, so to speak, puppet master certain scenarios. If they get a more established, older coach, they lose a lot of that ability to try to manipulate and maneuver situations and scenarios. But I also like it for Schottenheimer because he's young enough that on a short-term contract, if things didn't go well, he could end up getting another head coaching job somewhere else. So it could work out best for both sides, whether it went good or bad. But, because the Dallas Cowboys, I want to be a little messy. I want to get y'all asked about this. Look.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
The Dallas Cowboys, let's think about the most recent coaches. The Dallas Cowboys are pretty much NFL graveyard for coaches. Like, after they leave here, they're done. They're done. Jason Garrett, he's on NBC. He's done, right? like Bill Parcells, done. All these other coaches, man, pretty much when they left the Cowboys, they were done. It was something about working for the Cowboys that took out the rest of the spirit from a lot of coaches, man, by the time they get to the Cowboys. So I think he's young enough to possibly rebound from that, which is good for him, man. But yeah, it's kind of been a graveyard for a lot of coaches. What do y'all think about that?
It has been a graveyard. That's messed up. But if I'm focusing on Brian Schottenheimer, I do believe that this makes sense. It does to me. Brian Schottenheimer is perfect for where we are right now in the modern NFL.
Right.
So I talked to Zach Wilchuk about this today, who had an epic rant. And I understand it. I'm going to play it and we're going to talk about it. DMV just told me about this. I'm going to play it now.
This just seems like a completely, utterly ridiculous potential hiring. And it makes it very, very difficult. It pretty much you're on the verge of like zero faith as a Cowboy fan. I mean, I'm one that is very usually optimistic. I search for reasons to try and be hopeful. I think at this point, honest to God, the only reason Cowboy fans would gather any hope is if the Jones family sold the team. I really do. They are going ahead right now and putting themselves in a position where they're acting like they don't care about who the head coach is, which is in line with everything you said in the opening segment with Gary. Because he said I could get how many? 100,000 coaches to come in here and coach a football team. You had Jimmy Johnson. Best thing he's ever done was hire Jimmy. Jimmy put together those teams, and since then he's been trying to get the same type of success where he gets the credit, and it's gotten you nowhere. It's now got you the biggest NFC championship drought in the entire conference. It's disgraceful. And he's still going to make his money because schmucks like me that don't love the Cowboys for the Joneses, you love the Cowboys because you grew up going to games with your family members and you fall in love with the sport. And I love the Cowboys because of the Dallas Cowboys. Not because of the names on the back of the jerseys or who owns the team. It's because of the team. But unfortunately now, it's just depression. That's what it is being a Cowboy fan. It's utter depression and anger, and where the hell do I go from here? And a hire like this isn't getting your even if it's Kellen Moore, maybe it's not shoddy. And I'm not trying to crap on him. Good dude, family's awesome. They walk by us all the time, Brian, in post games. Yeah. But this is an utterly crap hiring if that's what you're going to do. It's disgraceful, and it's a slap in the face to your fans. It's like you're doing a bit. Do you give a damn? The answer is no right now, you don't. You don't care about winning a championship, and all you care about is printing money.
What's your point?
Woo! All right.
Tell us how you really feel.
So, I talked to him today before that rant, and we talked ball. He was like, man, boss, that Seattle game, it was basically run, pass, punt right there. They say R2P2. That's their thing, right? And I told him, I said, well, what's old is new, and that's true, right?
Right.
And he agreed with this. I said, with the league, and this is true, a bunch of too high safety, right? They did that to do what? Counter the passing league, right? A bunch of tweener linebackers, right? They did that for what? To counter the passing league. That has created an opportunity for the running game. So, yes, he was old when he was at Seattle, when he was in a run-first offense and a pass-happy league. But right now, all these teams have shifted and basically dared you to run at him. So your better teams are running right at him with great success. We saw the game between Detroit and Philly. It was exciting, but they was running on first down. You know what I mean? But it was extremely exciting, extremely high scoring, right? So Shotty is a fit because he actually is very committed to the run. He's gonna definitely go over top once you start trying to cheat up. He go take you out that too high. Like, Brian makes a lot of sense, and then I'm gonna show one more thing that's super important, Law, and then I'm gonna turn it over. So Law was the first person to tell me about leadership presence on Brian Schottenheimer. This video was shot in August of 2023, and I'm gonna play the sound on this, and y'all tell me if I'm tripping.
I don't no, you remember we had like 10 rolls in dry ice room, and they don't have a PDA, right? So now they're coming back. I escaped back after a week of 2 weeks today, telling them that, well, this is, you know, this information for the PDA, right? And I didn't say anything.
Law, I see it, bro. Like what you were saying about Shotty. Like how he be leading them boys.
Yeah.
That's from 2 years ago. And in training camp, we don't film coaches. But his leadership stood out so much that, because you said it first on the Final Word, that's the first time I heard you say it. You was coming from training camp, and we did a show called The Eyes of Law, Through the Eyes of Law, training camp.
Yeah.
And you was giving us an update, and you said, man, Shotty, and this was before he ever was a head coach in Canada. You told us here first. You said, Shotty, he's hands-on, boss. And then so I went and watched it in Dallas. That's when I was like, Law, I see it, you know? Because you can see it from the stands. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, he is a more assertive. He got a little bit more energy than Mike McCarthy. And when you hear him speak and hear football pedigree. Now, all of this is not translating over to wins, of course, but the year before that, of course, we were 12-5, right? And it was him that did a lot of installments. Yeah. He did a lot of installments while Mike McCarthy called the plays. But he didn't have the full range because, remember, Mike McCarthy don't like motion. Shotty like motion, right? And, you know, you have Jeff Blasco as your run game coordinator, and those are kind of like friction moments. So if you give him the full keys, and I'm not hyping him up, ladies and gentlemen, because
just
you
analysis.
Remember, you and I remember we bumped into him, we talked to him.
Yep.
And he spoke with, at the Omni. So, I mean, he's a little bit more direct. I think that is going to be a situation and scenario that this offense may be a little bit more creative than what it is, but he don't have a sparkling, glowing resume, by the way. So that's why we're looking at him like, come on, Ben Johnson was there. Aaron Glenn was there. There were other candidates that were there to at least consider. But Jerry Jones, he loves shopping at the bottom bargain bin. So this could be a situation whereas he can get shotted for $2 to $3 million and he come out to this thing and saying, yes, I won, because he's cheap. Jerry Jones is cheap, frugal. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it, bro.
Oh. So, Big, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, first, he's been a assistant coach, a quarterbacks coach. He's been everything else except a head coach. He's been in the league 25 years. Right. If he's so that daggone good, how come ain't nobody offering him a head coach? Because there's been plenty of offensive coordinators out here in this league. As soon as they have a couple good years, they want to make him a head coach, and he ain't had that. So that's what I look at.
That. I got a full answer
for
that.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. What you got? What's your counter on it? Go ahead, Big A.
Well, I ain't
we talking. We talking. It's not a debate.
I ain't finished.
It's a good question. Go ahead. You had something else? Go ahead.
And just also, you know, OC said he may be the leading candidate. I don't know how. How is he a leading candidate over Kellen Moore? Kellen Moore, to me, is still the leading candidate. The only way that, to me, Kellen Moore is not the leading candidate if Kellen Moore don't want this job.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, well, I'm not first of all, I'm not hyping no Kellen Moore at all. I'm just telling you what I think is reality. Yeah, they throw his name out, Brian Schottenheimer, but he ain't really did nothing. Just like Law said, you go through his record with the Jets, Seattle, Rams, you know, Okay, Mark Sanchez, you did with him. You helped Chad Pennington become comeback player of the year. Yes, you are run heavy. You will use 2 backs. I've seen that. Top run offenses. But like I said, to me, I think he is a respected person in the building. But that doesn't mean you're going to be a great head coach just because you respected in the building. That don't mean you're going to transition to be a head coach because, like I said, you ain't really got the opportunities to do it, to be the guy. And so, Cowboys are there. He was a consultant. He's familiar. And that's what the Cowboys like to do. Just like what Law said. You had a Ben Johnson who I don't think Ben Johnson would even think about the Cowboys. So it's not about Dallas going after Ben Johnson. I don't think Ben Johnson wanted to touch the Cowboys. I could see Aaron Glenn wanting to mess with the Cowboys, but it's like, are y'all even going to look at him? Are y'all even going to put out an offer? You're automatically going to say a Schottenheimer, and this stuff that's in the air. I don't know if it's really true, but you got a guy over here that has been in the building as well. And he helped build a team ground up. And even though they had a failure in this playoffs, they're still a good team. You'll still see Detroit being competitive next year. So, like I said, out of these candidates, okay, but I still feel like it's Kellen Moore because they homegrown him. They brought him in with Scott Linehan. In 2019, he was the quarterback's coach, right? Came over to OC. They didn't want him to leave the building. That was that infighting with him and McCarthy. They didn't want him to leave. And you don't think that he's going over there and turning up with Philadelphia, or they're winning, and if they go to this championship game and win and they get into the Super Bowl, you don't think Jerry Jones ain't going to sit there and say, I want Kellen Moore, the prodigal son, coming back home and doing that with us? Because you didn't already prove that you could, and I don't want you to get that success over there. So I'm going to give you the keys. You know why? Because you're our homegrown guy. So you're going to get more leeway than anybody else because we want you to succeed because we want to be right. And then we already heard about Jason Witten can be on the staff. So if anybody you're talking about molding, I don't know if they're molding a Schottenheimer, they would be able to mold more a Kellen Moore than a Schottenheimer. But I still feel like Schottenheimer is not the guy that's going to say, oh, we got Brian Schottenheimer. That coach is going to kind of take Dallas over the hump now. I don't think anybody believes that.
We just got some updated news from Bleacher Report. Dallas interview with Schottenheimer went well. Cowboys OC is now being considered as the head coach and the OC positioning for the Cowboys. So you may be right. If Kellen Moore comes back, he may be the OC. If not, then Jerry Jones figured out a way to save a lot of money by having one duty and having one job, as the head coach / offensive coordinator. That means you don't have to pay for both. So you can just pay for one. So that could be a situation in scenario where they save money. Yeah, it just been reported. Check it out on Bleacher Report.
I believe it. I'm saying hell no to Kellen Moore, not to y'all.
Go ahead. But boss, before you go to that point, what if you get a Robert Saleh and then you still blend in with this guy Schottenheimer? They haven't played.
No, I don't want no Robert Saleh.
That's the DC.
He didn't win nothing. Bro, he didn't win. Okay, at the DC, but don't mention. I don't want nobody mentioning him as no head coach. He was not a winner at New York. He wasn't a winner over there.
He's
20 a winner over there in New York.
He's 20 and 36.
He's not going to come over here. Right. Yeah. So if you weren't a winner over there with the Jets, you don't have any skins, and you're an outsider, why would he even be a consideration? That was just that was a feel-good thing about them interviewing Salah. He's not going to be no damn head coach of no damn Dallas Cowboys.
But our show play keep away. I don't want the Niners to get him back.
Is he going to be the coach? He asked, how would you feel about it?
Who would I feel about who?
Saleh. And then Lau just asked, how would you feel about Saleh as head coach and then Schottenheimer as OC?
No. I don't want Saleh as the head coach. He has not proved anything to show that he's going to be a good head coach in this league. What has he shown?
But is it like the Jets notoriously like dysfunctional, almost worse than that?
Right, but you want Schottenheimer. He was over with the Jets for like 5-6 years. You want Schottenheimer. He was over there.
He had success. He took Mark Sanchez to the AFC Championship.
Okay, well, they didn't have great numbers over there.
It's not about the numbers. Them boys was winning, and I think that's what they missed with Brian Schottenheimer. Like, for instance,
they missed. Like, they also Rex Ryan kind of gave them an attitude too.
Russell Wilson had his best years under him, man. Talking about 40 touchdowns and stuff like that. And I wanted to go back to what you said earlier when you said, why did nobody want him? I believe one of the main reasons why people didn't want him because he had a run identity in the passing league. And see, they was misunderstanding the value of what he was doing for Russell Wilson because the campaign let Russ cook was under him. In other words, we want Russell Wilson to throw the ball. And he ended up being right when we look back at it in hindsight because then they let him go out there and cook and his name got muddy. If they would have stuck to the identity that they had when they was in Seattle, Russell would have still been a first ballot Hall of Famer, unquestionable, you know? And it was because, in my opinion, he was somebody that had an identity that was opposite of what was trending. What was trending is passing identity. So everybody want these young, Kellen Moore-ish, Ben Johnson-ish, nerdies. You know, they don't want that. The Viagra of the league and the hype of the league is young, even though it don't win a damn thing. It ain't no young coach that had brought a team over the hump in the last 10 years. Everybody that's really been having major success got an identity in older, but we still be wanting these young dudes. They chasing trends, so people like Brian get looked over. And he had 2 high head coaching offers in 2006 and 2010. He turned them down.
Yeah. All right, so you would want a Schottenheimer over? You're just saying Schottenheimer because there ain't no other choices.
No.
So because Aaron Glenn. Okay, because Aaron Glenn is around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you want to try Aaron Glenn over?
Even if you get an Aaron Glenn, you would still need a OC, right? So that's I believe that's what Boss is saying. Now, to that point, this draft would determine all of that. And some of the free agency. If we fool around and get 2 running, I think we're going to go with 2 running backs in this draft. We double dip. And I like the news and the storyline of Tashard Choice and DeMarco Murray being as a possible running back coach because that would be light years ahead of Jeff Blasco. But if you bring that into the table and you put run game on the table, this will help your 30 to 31-year-old quarterback out. Big game, James. I know how you feel about that, but this will help your boy out because he needs a run game. I've been watching Big Game James. He's fighting everybody down here on Twitter about Dak.
Oh yeah, you seen the Dak beehive came. As soon as I mentioned one thing, they was stinging me like a whole bunch of killer bees. As soon as I said some damn stuff about, I wish I was, Dak was in champion. They came after me, Law. I got tired of tweeting. I said, I'm going to bed. I'm done fighting.
For real, they do you like that on Twitter.
Hey, I was typing in something too, Big AJ. I said, man, I ain't going to say it down. You was already fighting. I said, shit, I don't want you to start fighting me.
I mean,
but the reality of it, man, we don't. Bro, hey, this is the thing that I was going to try to point out, that in the postseason, we've been decimated with the inability to run the ball. It's like literally averaging 2.6, 2.7 yards in the postseason, bro. And we need the ability to run the ball. Dak Prescott being one-dimensional, he ain't no good. He gonna throw the ball and gonna be a turnover. I can't lean and depend on Dak in that way. I need to be at least a 2-dimensional team. But go ahead.
I got something for OC real quick. He been sitting back
OC
patient.
just chilling over there.
No, he been sitting back patient, being just, a good sport as always. OC, this is tailor-made for you.
He's Deacon OC. We the preachers.
West Coast, no identity, digit system, power run. You need power run and play action. That's what you need. That's what's going to win. You need to be able to effectively control the clock and physically intimidate your opponents and strategically be able to complete the ball. That's what you need. And I think that's what you need in terms of the model of the salary cap and how they do things with the Cowboys, because they're not big spenders. We can't anticipate them going out and getting a true 1A or even a very good secondary receiver to CeeDee Lamb. We can't anticipate that. So we have to anticipate we need good running backs. We need multiple ways to run the football: inside zone, outside zone, traps, pin and pulls, dives, lead ISOs. We need all that working, and Schottenheimer actually brings that. And then we need the ability to get the defense to play heavy in the box and then play action pass off of it. And Dak Prescott is elite. He is elite. and play action pass. And he's a very good quarterback out of the pocket. I don't want to diminish his skill set because a lot of times every quarterback makes some mistakes. But if you look at Dak Prescott's interception ratio outside of a couple years ago, Dak Prescott has a very low interception rate versus touchdown percentage. In other words, his touchdowns far outweigh his interception percentage. So I don't want to shortchange Dak there. He can throw the ball down the field, but the ideal way for us to play based upon all the factors that you're dealing with when you deal with the Cowboys, not being aggressive with free agents, building the team through the draft, not wanting to pay and re-up people they brought in on 1 or 2 year deals. They'll let them go, over $100,000 difference. They'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So because of those factors, I think the best strategy would be able to power run the football and be able to effectively play action pass. I think if you're the Cowboys, that's how you have to build it so you can try to win.
Can I throw one more at OC real quick? Because he was very patient. We hogged hard from him. OC, another thing that I see, and I want to throw this at everybody, starting with you, though, OC. The problem that I see with the Cowboys is they try to merge too often totally different identities offensively. They do the same thing defensively too, but it's even worse offensively. Like, it's almost like they have these arranged marriage ideas, but that are born for divorces. You don't marry a West Coast with a no identity digit system where one of them is very precise in terms of the West Coast, right? Very specific, detailed, right? Everything tied to the quarterback feet, to an ambiguous system like the no identity digit system, where the receivers and the quarterback got to read the defense and then react to it. Those are totally different visions, totally different schemes. And now it's starting to be rumors of potential Kellen Moore with the no identity digit system being married to a power run guy. That's one of the biggest issues that I see, is that front office seems that they try to put people together that don't fit. What's your thoughts on that? And I want to hear from everybody on this.
Yeah, I think that you need to have variations in ways in how you attack the defense from the passing game. So I personally like route combinations, which is going to be more West Coast-ish, more, okay, this is your 3-step, your 5-step, your 7-step, right? This is your crosser or your sluggo, right? This is your out, this is your corner, this is your post, this is your go. I think that you can merge the digit system with a power run game and play action pass if you do it a certain way.
Yeah,
you can do
like
it. You
limited to tight ends, slot stuff, but having like two or three weapons like Kellen Moore doing it, I don't see it.
You have to have two. You have to have 2 defined routes or 3 defined routes, depending upon what you run. Let's just say you're running zone right, play action pass left. Okay, let's just say that. I'm just being simple so the audience can understand, right? And so you have a single receiver to the left, and you have a tight end releasing to the left. So one of those targets can have an option route. Both of them can't. One of them can have an option route, right? And you see a little bit of this with the Kansas City Chiefs, where Travis Kelce runs option routes. He runs option, but he's the only one in that set. And most of the time he's running an option route. Okay, the linebacker drops. Okay, sit down right here. Okay, he comes up, turn out. Right, so you can do it, but you have to put a collar around it.
Right.
It can't be every weapon, because that's when it turns into a big pot of goulash.
Yep.
So that's what I think.
The craziest thing about that, and I was talking about that earlier today, it's simple but yet complex, because with Kelce, what you're going to put a linebacker stiff hips on him, or you're going to challenge that and put a safety over him, right? Right. So it's an automatic mismatch. So that's why the option route works for him. Right. And when you think about it, when you talked about arranged marriages, it will work to a degree if you are equally yoked, right? Ooh. But when you're unequally yoked and you're trying to add those two, even as much as wisdom King Solomon had, right? 700 wives, 300 concubines. ultimately, it was the ladies that really destroyed him because they were unequally. They began to change his mind on God, but God gave him 700 wives. So you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to arrange something, if you're going to have something on the table, make sure that they are equally yoked, because if not, then you will see the troubles and the pitfalls down the line, and there will be those type of situations. So slap your neighbor and tell him, amen. And also, with being said, come on.
Hey, Law, can you do that? Well, that boy be killing me when he hit it with that he.
Yeah. But y'all know, man, that man had all of the wisdom in the world, man. But that woman, if they're not equally yoked, you know, he couldn't take his own advice. Come on with it.
So I'm gonna piggyback on you, Law. Listen, what messed up Solomon is they took his heart away from God, and they started to have him practicing their religion. So in this case, you got to keep your religion the same. So if you are the head coach and you like power run, you cannot convert to another religion and start doing the no identity. You can't do that. You got to stay consistent to your faith.
Man.
That's what you got to do if you're a head coach. And you're trying to mix these systems in here. Lest your heart be turned, and then that's your downfall, because you're doing stuff you ain't supposed to do that really ain't you, and it's against the core of who you are. Also, in an arranged marriage, you have to have the same yoke of cultural backgrounds. No offense and no racism. You don't see an Indian woman with an arranged marriage with a man that's blonde hair, blue eyes from Southern California. They
Texas.
don't do that.
Come on with
it's a different culture. They don't match. It has to be a match. It's a different culture. You have to do arranged marriages if we both got the same culture. That's how the marriages go work.
Come on with it, boy.
Go ahead and jump in, Law. Be the homie. Boys, I know they got finna cook some more. Go, Law. I know you got some more.
Man, no, boy, we can talk about Samson and everything, boy. Sure.
Big, we hogging from you, man. What's your thoughts on the mixing?
Let Mr. Big get in there, man. Come on with it.
I mean, you know, y'all over there yucking it up, all excited and jumping for joy, doing cartwheels over Schottenheimer. I ain't tripping on Schottenheimer. I agree with what you said about the power run game. He does it. He runs it strong. I think 2009, they led the league in rushing. I think back-to-back years right after that. When he had Steven Jackson, 1,400 yards. When he had, what's the Jones? Not Julius Jones, the other Jones.
Chris Warren?
Not Warren Jones. No. What's the Jones? Thomas Jones. Yeah, Thomas Jones over there with the Jets. And Thomas Jones was going crazy over too. So I'm excited about that. And he will use two-back system. I think I like that the best because I want another back in the draft. And when you look at his offenses, he definitely will use two backs. I think that's key to me. I don't want a guy that just going to be the workhorse anymore. I think kind of adapt to that. If we're talking about power runs, still incorporate that two-back system. I think that'll continue to be good going forward. But the problem is, are the Cowboys, if they say, Schottenheimer, you're our coach, we want to bring in Kellen Moore, if that were something like that to happen, it's absolutely not going to work, just like you said, because that's going to undermine the authority of Schottenheimer instantly. It's going to undermine. So if the Joneses are going to bring Schottenheimer in, I like to see them hands off a little bit. Let him pick his coordinators. If he wants to be the OC, let him have that. Let him go pick out his staff, because the problem is the Cowboys will go in and pick the staff for you. They picked Zimmer. They picked Quinn. You know what I'm saying? They will pick the people for you. So I feel like give him a chance. If you're going to hire him, give him a chance to go ahead and be able to pick his own staff and stay away from that. But to me, it's the Cowboys going away from that 1990 football. They like to run the football. They've always liked to run the football, and that's what it is. So to me, it's just going to still be the same thing that they're incorporated from back then. But I hope it morphs into something a little bit more. You don't have to get crazy with it. I think the biggest thing what Law was saying is motion. I like to see some motion. I like to. Is my thing messing up?
No, OC. I had to mute him because I can hear the echo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me.
Can you?
And boss, I sent you 3 clips.
You did.
Hey, boss, I sent you 3 clips, and it's speaking on some of the things, especially the one that Dan Orlowski spoke on. You know, I sent you 3 clips. They're real short. Go ahead.
Okay,
but just to be clear, I'm not mad at if they were to hire Schottenheimer. Like, I wouldn't throw a fit. I don't have that feeling about him where I want to throw a fit if you hire him. I don't have, you know, boss, we talk, I have a feel like, and
a good feel.
If you were to do that with Kellen Moore, I'm going to be upset because I know what it is.
Yeah.
With Schottenheimer, I think, as I said before, y'all might think I'm a little weird with this, but his birthday is right after mine. So he is a Libra. So his mind, I can tell what his mind is. And what his mind is he's willing to work. You know, he listens. You get what I'm saying? I think he's a coach. He's a head coach that will listen. I love his enthusiasm. When they first brought him on, I like his enthusiasm. He has good enthusiasm. I think he is a good natural leader, but a leader doesn't always have to be up front. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what he can be. He's transparent. And I feel like he's just well-spoken. And that's why I feel like they like him, because he's going to give you a really good interview. I feel like he's going to give you a good laid out, detailed interview, and it's going to impress you. You get what I'm saying? He's already been in the building as a consultant, y'all. He wasn't the OC yet. He was a consultant. So obviously they liked him if they brought him in as a consultant to kind of learn what's going on. So it would seem that I would go this route over Kellen Moore. So what I'm saying is I will take a Schottenheimer over Kellen Moore, because I don't want that, because I know what's going to happen with that. They're going to morph everything into what they want with Kellen Moore. You get what I'm saying? They'll add certain people that they want, because it's about them being right, Kellen Moore, in my opinion. It's not about them winning a championship with Kellen Moore. It's about them being right. So just like they wanted to be right with Jason Garrett, and they gave him all that leeway, they will do the same thing with Kellen Moore, because he's a homegrown guy, and they will try to do everything possible for them to be right. Not just for them to be winning games, but for them to be right. And I just want them to be able to maybe get more of a headstrong guy, because me and you talked about this, boss. I believe Schottenheimer, the biggest key to me, I believe he can be a leader of men.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah, that's
the key.
Yep.
Kellen Moore is not a leader of men.
No.
He never was, in my opinion. He won't be, in my opinion. He's an offensive coordinator. That's what you are. Look at that picture. You ain't no leader of men, dog. I ain't trying to hate on you, but that picture, you goofy. You goofy. He goofy to me. Yeah, and you just not a leader of men to me. And I feel like it's
true.
Not hating. If the owner says you better like him, then we're gonna have to just sit there and listen to you. That don't mean I really want to mess with you. You get what I'm saying? Whereas I believe a Schottenheimer, I actually believe the players would just be like, would really go hard for him because of his personality. I feel like he shows genuine love as a coach, and if he can continue to put them in the best positions possible, I would be rather than that, because like I said, the biggest key, leader of men. I think that's why Dan Quinn has been successful over there too, not just because he got the keys, but he is a leader of men. And Kellen Moore wouldn't come over here and be no leader of men.
Real quick, my boy CFT in the building. He say big talking that talk. Y'all make sure y'all check out Cover 3, man. It's a new dope show between DMV and Rome. And like, we just had us a dope show about 2 hours ago. And then, you know, they pushed about 2,000 people over to the final word, bro. So,
man,
you know, so it's one of those to where we pushing it back to them. Like, they promoting us, we promoting them. That I think that might be the hottest Tuesday thing going, period. Like, Cover 3 in the final word. That's just, you go hear from everybody on Tuesday. Just put it like that. You go hear from everybody on Tuesday. And then Law got something going with Attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of collabs, good collabs. Then you got some tomorrow on Wednesday, right, Law?
Yeah, the collectives. We'll be on that with John Michaud to see if we can get some inside information on what's going on, the news that's rumbling around. And, of course, Foots the King any information that he got on the draft. He should be at the Senior Bowl this year, so be sure to support the brother. He's going out there on his own dime. Big game. You going to the Senior?
Yeah.
Yep. So hey, man, let's start this because we did this last year, man. Y'all hit Big Game James CashApp, man. Because he's gonna be out there on his own.
I love you for it last
power,
year,
man. Oh yes, indeed. Come on, so y'all smash that.
Y'all paid for it. Y'all looked out.
Hey, y'all, it's something that's heavy on my heart that I really want to talk about that's greatly bothering me. I'm gonna be all the way honest with you, and I'm gonna play these clips in whatever order one you want me to play these in after we finish this comment. Law. Mm-hmm. The predetermined outcomes, I really believe, is the biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys. The predetermined outcomes. Like, just look at all the mess that is being made because they's already predetermined that Witten was Dan Campbell.
Right.
So even if you fast track Witten, look at all the moves that they already considering making, like moving Linda Wells from tight end to offensive line coach. You are talking about making moves that was already positioned well. You taking somebody that's established as a coach at tight end and you moving them from the potential of Witten. And you do that same thing with your draft guys. It's these predetermined outcomes that where you say, if we pick them, we got a plan. And you waste opportunities, in my opinion, because they try to force the outcomes that they want to see or declare they're going to see. The worst place this year that they probably had a predetermined outcome was Trey Lance. Why? What was the outcome that they wanted? They wanted him to put pressure on Dak. So what did they do? They blew all the preseason where you're supposed to be working as a team. Did they work on the run game during preseason? No. Why? It was a showcase for leverage against Dak. It's these predetermined outcomes while we are now scrambling and don't trust Shotty. You know what I mean? It's trust issues. I wanted to get y'all opinion on that, Law. You seem like you was jiving with that. What's your thoughts?
I talked to Wells. He's a real good guy. And he should be a candidate in the future for head coaching one way or another down the line. He did a marvelous job with the tight ends. I'm thinking that, and the OC can probably let me know, but I think that offensive line coaches are more recognizable than tight end. So this will show his flexibility. I know one thing, as a tight end, you must learn everything and know everything on the field. As a wide receiver, running back, halfback, and you for dog sure must know that offensive line. So I would say this: if he take that job without gripe, and now we coming into this building with run game and we get some people out there, I want him to get a head coaching job too. And Wells, man, go ahead and hook a brother up with some more of that barbecue when I'm out there again at Oxnard, because that's a good thing. He's a very family man. I think that all of the tight ends gravitated to him. Yeah. And he's a guy, he's a hands-on guy, so I look at that. I didn't know if he was still under contract, so that means that he's going to be with this team for the foreseeable future, boss.
It sounds like, from what I've been hearing in terms of rumors, is that they have plans on really trying to keep him. They value him.
Right.
From me listening into all the insiders and what they've been saying but it makes sense because when we watch the draft, the person that's going to be working them out, OC, is Wells. You know what I mean? Okay. And he's been doing that before he was even a Dallas Cowboy coach. So it's just that predetermined outcome stuff. That's what I don't want Jerry to be remembered for.
But guess what? If you go down the coaching tree, every single coach was already predetermined. He likes to go ahead and marry up like this predetermined marriage thing, right? Yeah. We knew that he had some type of relationship with Barry Switzer. We knew that he had some type of relationship with Chan Gailey because he was promoted within that team as being the head coach, and then from there, Dave Campo. Now, when you look at Bill Parcells, Mike Zim was forced on Bill Parcells. Remember, there was a fight between the 4-3 versus 3-4, right? True. And then when we got Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett was forced on Wade Phillips, right? And then when we move further, Wade Phillips 2.0, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore was forced upon dare I say, you know what I'm saying, Mike McCarthy. So now we going into this year with a clean slate. He's going to do the same thing. Jason Witten is going to be forced upon somebody, and they might not even like Jason Witten like that. But just by us knowing that Tashard Choice and the information that you got, as well as DeMarco Murray, there's somebody already moving the things around, and it could be Jason Witten already saying, hey, Tashard, I work with you, man. You played football with me. Hey, you thinking about wanting a job over here? Hey, DeMarco. So those predetermined things can hurt, and it really hurts this team. And that's why Dez Bryant called out the bull sugar and said, yeah, I'm going to call a spade, and I don't like the nepotism. And
that's right.
The whole argument between Michael Parsons and Dez Bryant, the whole spat that they had, Michael Parsons, the Cowboys going to take advantage of that innocent lion. They're going to take advantage of him because he don't know no better. He don't. Talking about, Dez, you could have changed the culture. How? When he was going to be considered the villain.
Right. How?
But that's a whole nother story.
Big, what's your thoughts on that predetermined outcome, man?
I've been saying that. I mean, we preaching to right here. I've been saying the predetermined. That's the biggest problem here. But I mean, Law was really preaching right there. Everything he said, how everybody was forced upon you, and that's what I mean. And Jason Witten, when we heard Jerry Jones say Jason Witten could be like Dan Campbell, I knew it was done. I knew it was done. Once that came uttered out his lips, I knew he was coming on the staff somehow, somewhere, because he's still the golden boy. And I told y'all, you know how I feel about Witten. You know how I feel about Witten, boss. I don't like you. I'm sorry. I don't care what you did in Dallas. I don't care.
But he did check Kellen Moore, though. He will check Kellen Moore, though. I wish my guy had it.
I don't give a hell if he checked Kellen Moore or not. I don't like how he forced his way back out of retirement. That really pissed me off. That really pissed me off, how he came out of retirement and just came back to a spot, came back to a starting spot. I'm Jason Witten. No, I don't like that. And he had antics on the field that me and Boss had talked about that I just didn't like how he used to go about it. You know what I mean? And I feel like he thinks he's the golden boy. And I don't want that type of atmosphere around or permeating the team, because that's what's going to poison things again. Law, it's going to poison again when you get them self-entitled guys that I'm Jason Witten. I'm Jason Witten.
I'm the Aaron.
Can I push back on you just a little bit?
You tell me
who's question me,
boss and big.
And I'm finna be your boss.
Big. Can I push back on this just a little bit?
Okay.
Let me push back on that.
You can try, Law.
Do Jason Witten got more fight than Jason Garrett, Kellen Moore, and Mike McCarthy based off of those principles?
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. No. I'll fight you with Jason Garrett. I'll fight you with that with Jason Garrett, because I'll tell you, Jason Garrett did have a lot of fight. He just wasn't a great head coach. But Jason Garrett was meticulous. He was on them dudes, and people in the locker room did like him. I know some people did not. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't think Jason Witten had more fight than maybe a Kellen Moore, But that fight don't mean it. He has entitlement. Listen, he has entitlement. And I don't want that entitlement around
my team,
the staff, anything. Because that entitlement will poison. Because I'm Jason Witten. You're going to listen to what I say, and you don't, no, I don't want that around. And if we get a situation where he's like, okay, Schottenheimer, you the coach, but guess what? You gotta have to bring Jason Witten. Bro, then why are we talking about Schottenheimer anymore? It's over.
Big. Is Jason Witten more of a Bill Parcells guy or more of a Jason Garrett guy? In your opinion?
Jason Garrett. He ain't no Bill Parcells.
He's more of a Jason Garrett. Bill Parcells drafted him, man. Boys were out there playing without a plane.
I don't give a hell. He ain't.
So you think Jason Witten soft?
I ain't saying about him being soft. He coached high school football. Get your butt on there and get on a college staff. Get on there and get on there and learn. Just because you coach high school, won a championship in a Christian high school, a Christian team, okay, Episcopal Christian Academy. You feel me? You feel me? No, get your feet dirty. Okay, get your feet dirty, because if you're going to compare, if you're going to compare, Jerry Jones going to sit there and compare him to Dan Campbell. What did Dan Campbell do? Dan Campbell put in work.
His dues.
He put in work.
Right.
And he was an interim coach with the Miami Dolphins. So he
With
had
the
already
money.
put in his work in the NFL to get that position. I believe that's why he's succeeding now, because he did it the right way. If you come in entitled, oh, I'm from high school, entitled, and come right on the staff, where I don't care what yelling he does or screaming or hollering. I don't care about none of that. It's going to poison the staff and the team, and I don't want it around.
Big Guy, you funny as hell, man. I didn't know it was a Christian school. I didn't know it was a Christian school.
1A. It's 0.5A. It's not even a full 1A.
I mean, that don't count there. That don't count, man. Okay, yeah. Y'all right. That don't count.
Listen, you got 10 people on your squad. 3 of them your sons.
You feel me? Man, you gotta go put in some work. Get in that NFL. Get in some college. Do something. You cannot come automatically on the staff and not doing it. Look. Y'all look basketball, right? Remember when Steve Nash? I knew he was gonna fail. I knew Steve Nash was gonna fail. They try to hype him like he the next. He ain't coached nothing. I mean, nothing. Was an announcer. And just because you was a player, they don't work like that. And he just came out to, oh yeah, Steve Nash. And what happened? Right out there. Kevin Durant didn't want to play with you. I don't want to play with you.
You can't ask that question one more time.
JJ Redick.
Oh, you said what happened?
I mean, what the Lakers doing?
Man, I would try to hit a button,
y'all got
bro.
to play perfect basketball.
I would try to get that time down. You said when he took over, what happened? And you supposed to, come on, man. You got to, come on now. I would try to hit that button.
Law messing me up, blowing up my train of thought. Daggone it.
JJ Redick.
Hey, Tuck boy right there. Look at this. Tuck in the building. Tuck say, hold on real quick. He say,
Big's killing it. Yeah, he ain't lying.
This is true though. Listen, Football King more proven than Jason Witten. That's true.
I'm more proven than Jason Witten. I coached more years than he did.
Hey.
We've been
Jay Tuck more proven than Scott McCurley.
Hold on, we got to get into the OC, man. OC. We've been talking from you again, bro. What's your thoughts on these predetermined outcomes?
Yeah, predetermined, predestined.
Most things in the corporate environment are predetermined. That's what I think. I think that predetermined is okay as long as predetermined is the right decision. The issue with the Cowboys is that predetermined has shown not to be the right decision. So therein, you need to have some degree of fair and balanced critique in which you do not let things get set in stone until certain markers happen. In other words, people have to be incentivized to be given golden slippers. You can't just hand out golden slippers before anybody is giving you any performance. You need, when I was had my first sales job, they would say, hey man, you got sales escalators. You know what I mean? When you get to 100%, we'll give you this. If you get to 101%, we'll give you this. If you get to 105, we'll give you real big money. So people need some type of incentive to perform. So the handing over of the kingdom without any proof of concept is unwise. And that's really what's burned the Cowboys and hurt us from being a championship caliber team. Now, I will say this. There are two sides to the coin. Because if you look at Kellen Moore, there is an upside to hiring Kellen Moore as the head coach. There's upside. The upside is that they betted on him. The upside is that he'll get anything he wants. So if he is convinced that we need a true another one wide receiver, guess what? They're going to get it for him. If he's convinced we need the best running back in the draft, guess what? They're going to go out and give it for Kellen. They're going to do everything they can to help the golden child, which coincidentally could end up helping the team. That's the good part. The bad part is his leadership and his experience and his ability to execute at a high and pressure-filled level, running a whole organization. All right. Now, the good of Brian Schottenheimer is that he's more seasoned. He's more experienced. He's going to command more respect. All right. But he's a guy that because he's still an outsider. It doesn't matter about his experience. He's still an outsider. They're going to try to collar this man. They're going to have their hands up his back in trying to puppeteer certain things and not let him have full range. That's the negative part of this. And so it's a good and bad on both equations. What you have to look at is the law of diminishing returns. You got to look at what is going to be the best scenario by which you can possibly be successful. And then you need to make your decisions based on those ratios. Sorry to speak a little bit of algebra, but that's what I think.
I hate this,
with
bro.
it.
I hate the fact that we accept this as fans. I hate the fact that we say comfortably, yeah, they gonna bring on Jason Witten, you know. Whoever they hire, they're gonna attach him. It's like we just accept the nepotism. It's like, and see, people gotta put two and two together. You can't have this type of marriage without an ugly divorce coming soon. So that means they gonna waste your time. Cause see, we know they like to do predetermined outcomes, and they start sabotaging the other one. When you don't want Mike McCarthy here, you don't help him in free agency. When you don't want Zimmer to the OC point, you get him his DTs late. You do stuff like that when they're not your guy. You know, when it's Witten, I need DTs. Oh, they'll be in here. When? Oh, we ordered it. Amazon gonna have your DTs in here tomorrow. Now, and see,
overnight delivery.
Overnight Uber.
That's what I was saying,
said, OC. This the worst. I got you, big. This the worst part of what you said, OC. Kellen go pick the wrong pick. Cause think about it. What did he want? He wanted Schultz to get tagged. Am I lying? He wanted Schultz to get tagged. Then as soon as he got let go or walked away, whatever the rumor is, they was like, we don't want Schultz. We don't want him.
We did that for you. Oh,
we did that for you. We did that for your option routes. We did you so. Go ahead, Big. You was simmering.
Come on, get tagged, McMillan.
I mean, you know, just what OC said, man. Like I was telling you, I just don't see how they don't mess with Kellen Moore. Like, especially if he win over in Philly, I just don't see where he was their golden child. He come back like the prodigal son. He was their golden child, dog. They did him just like Garrett. Garrett had 2 years as a quarterback coach at Miami before he became the OC. He had 1 year as a quarterback's coach, and then he became the OC. Garrett was like 4 years. He was like 4 years. They damn near young. And what was that everybody was saying about Jason Garrett? Oh, he's the young prodigy. Jason Garrett is this. Jason Garrett is that. And so they wanted to, and guess what? Both of them backup QBs had one of those big guy. Like, he was always going to be a good mind, a coach, and we raised him. That's the biggest thing. We raised him. They don't want him over there getting credit with all this stuff that they raised. You get what I'm saying? Yep. I just don't understand where they don't come at him and offer him a deal. And unless he says no, I don't see where he doesn't take it, because they're going to give him everything he needs because they want to be right.
Yep.
The need to be right, man. It's a terrible thing.
Which clip you wanted me to start with, Law?
Start the one with the Dan Orlowski.
Two things that Brian Schottenheimer will bring. One, a little bit more of the inside zone run game. I think the Cowboys are going to see way more of a passing game that keeps receivers on the move. The challenge for Dak is to match that accuracy and ball placement with that. But that offense pass game was stagnant both literally and metaphorically. I think Shotty coming along, a little bit more of the movement-based passing game is going to be a good thing for them.
Two things
you can pause it right there. Man. You don't have to play the rest of it. But yeah, I wanted to echo that, because when you look at his skill sets and you look at what the type of plays that he liked to call, all those things, and that's why it was reported that also CeeDee Lamb is a big fan favorite of Shotty. So
makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, y'all.
Because you go get your targets. I told people that, I say, Kellis is a number one killer. A defense, an offense to where the defense dictates where the ball goes. No, if I'm CeeDee Lamb, I'm like, I want Kelly. That's why I've been telling people, man, Brian Schottenheimer feel like it's player led. It feel like a player led revolt.
And look, man, if you're CeeDee Lamb, just to add a little bit more to that thing, is that you like a Schottenheimer because you know this dude is committed to running the football. I did a video now, 3 years ago now, where I broke down what he would bring to the offense, right?
Yes.
And I discussed how back in, and I forget the year now, so I won't even try to quote it, but when Marshawn Lynch left and all the big high-profile running backs left, he rushed for more than 2,000 yards with two no-name backs.
Yep.
Ooh. One guy had 13, like 1,200 yards. The other dude had like 900 something yards. He rushed for more than 2,000 yards with two backs no name backs. I said the names, you wouldn't even know who they are. So his commitment to that is going to open things up for a true number one. Also, the motions and the shifts, that gets dudes open, and it prevents you from effectively double covering a dude because the dude is moving all over the field. He's shifting, he's moving, he's running crossers, right? He's running quick outs. Like those things, you're going to get your targets, and you're not going to be effectively able to just completely bottle this guy up.
Man.
Clip 2.
Go ahead.
No, which clip?
Oh, sure. You can just play either one of them now. Sure. I think the first. Yeah, there you go.
Prescott, and how do you help him maybe take his game to the next level?
Well, first of all, I love him. I've always admired him from afar. Competed with him, against him many times. I reminded them we got the best of them in 19 up in Seattle, but they got us in the playoffs in 18. So I think we're close to even. But I love the man. I love the work ethic. He's just a tireless preparer. The way the guys follow him, the way he wants to be coached, the way he wants to be open-minded to trying different things from a fundamental standpoint and things like that. That shows you a sign of a true winner, a champion.
That was just his thought tracks on working with Dak Prescott. That was an older clip. So, yeah, man, I just think that if Dak is saying, yeah, he's the guy that's getting paid $250 million, right? I don't want Dak Prescott to be comfortable, by the way. But if the Cowboys are leaning and listening to Dak, then why not have someone that they already had a continuity with?
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Let me play this last clip, and then I got one more thing. Then we give.
I think this is going to be talking about week one.
Let me rewind it for you real quick so we can hear the question. Give me 1 second, brother.
Brian Todd Archer with ESPN. Your thoughts on the committee approach you guys had at running back? Was that kind of the script you want to follow, or is it, hey, a hot hand, maybe roll ride with one guy more than the other?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Todd, really, we wish we would have got more attempts to run the football. Obviously, we struggled a little bit on third down in the second half. But, yeah, I think, we're going to go into game plans knowing we're going to be a committee. We're going to get those guys going. I think that the total number of plays was almost balanced. And, again, we're not just a team that wants to feature the running backs running the football. We ask them to do a ton in pass protection. We ask them to get involved in the passing game. You saw us use Zeke on the screen. That was just the flow of the game. It could have been Rico. It could have been Deuce. It could have been whoever's in there. The cool thing is when you've got players like we have that all have talent, they're all prepared, they're all smart, they've got great instincts, it really doesn't matter. So for Mike calling the plays, he doesn't have to worry about which back's in the game. And I really think that we started controlling the line of scrimmage really, really well late in the game. We just unfortunately weren't able to sustain drives to keep pounding the football. We had back-to-back runs. One was Rico to the right, and then we came back.
You can stop it right there. I just wanted to showcase the mindset of, hey, he wanted to run the ball more, and that's what he's a run the ball type of guy, and he wanted to bring in balance. But we do know that Mike McCarthy, he wanted to throw the ball all around, and he did. He's the one that was banging on the table talking about playing complimentary football, and he didn't do that.
He didn't do it. Facts. This is the last thing I want to throw at y'all, and I'm very interested in y'all opinion on this. I just said this on Cover 3. I want to bring it to y'all. Even with the news of Brian Schottenheimer, I don't think that we have the best, most ideal complementary plan. I think we still kind of teetering around because we kind of exploring the options of Witten and exploring the options of Kelly Moore. I think we kind of playing with our food and just refusing to do what's best. To me, this is best right here. This is best. If you want continuity, this is your plan, in my opinion. Where Zimmer is your head coach. And I knew you wouldn't go like that. I should have told you before I did it.
Sure.
But where Zimmer is your head coach, Brian Schottenheimer is your OC, and Paul Gunter is your defensive coordinator. I mean, make the case, and then you can shoot holes in it big. I believe you should go with Zimmer as your head coach because I believe that the team does take on the mentality of your head coach, right? And I think he finished so strong that you should do it. Then on top of that, you get the physicality from a running coach with Schottenheimer. And then we all loved how Paul Guenther finished, and we know he was a run game coordinator, and none of us had any doubts in the physicality at all. If you on a physical team, for everybody that's been crying about a physical team, this would now, is it sexy? No. Is it pretty? No. Is it Dion? No. Is it gold chains? No. But is it physical to me? Yes, that is the move. You can put holes in it. Go ahead.
I knew it. I knew both.
Come on, man. Put the holes in and shoot it.
Just I knew he was gonna do it. I knew he was gonna do the Zimmer thing with that head coach.
But
he wasn't gonna sway with it.
But big, we have to, because they presenting us these limited options.
Yeah.
You just said what did Zimmer say this year? What is one of his most trained? He wish he could have did this. He wish he could have did that. You just said yourself they waited and delayed on giving him what he wanted. He said this was a trying time. So if you just said that about him, what's it going to be any different? Just because he's the head coach, you're talking about installing physicality, they're still going to be in the way. They still are going to wait. And I'm sorry, he looked stressed this year. He's old to me now, dog. I like him as a D. I don't want him with that extra responsibility as the head coach. I want you just
got that honey-do list now, big. He got that honey-do list.
I don't care what kind of honey-do list he got.
He got a six-pack, big.
Yeah, all right, whatever. I'm telling you, concentrate on that defense and be great. Concentrate on that defense another year and be great. We don't need you to be the head coach doing all this other stuff, dog. You was okay in Minnesota. You weren't a world beater in Minnesota. You was okay,
right?
Okay, but where was you nice? When you was that DC and with the Bengals, where was you nice? When you was that DC, when you was
Paul
with Dallas?
Guenther was nice when he was DC with the Bengals too.
But Paul Guenther ain't 82. I know he ain't 82, but I'm just saying.
That's why I want to make Zimmer the figurehead, man, because you got.
No, I don't want no old ass Zimmer being him the figurehead. He's out. He's too old, dog. We don't need no old ass guy.
Your critique is just that
you oldest, man. You oldest. You're oldest.
You want the old guy. You want Pete Carroll too.
No, I want the dude. No.
Yes, you do. You want Pete Carroll.
Yes.
72, 73. You want Monty Kiffin. You probably like what Monty Kiffin.
No, not Monty Kiffin. Not Monty.
Why not? He was 78. Whatever.
Yes.
800.
When I think about when you working with Jerry Jones, I think that's the best fit. Can I make my case on that?
Why?
Because
frustrated with Jerry
when
all
you the
this year.
head coach, you have the skills to do more than just lead teams and be leaders of men. These guys got experience about working the public and working with their ideas. And like I was listening to the January 6th committee when Trump was going through that stuff, whatever.
So so.
Now, hear me out on this. One of the biggest things that was dope that I heard is they said when they tried to talk to Trump in private, they knew how to get his attention. They would leak whatever idea they wanted to Fox News, allow Fox News to say it out in the public, which would put pressure on Trump. So this ain't about politics right now. I'm talking about having the savviness of how to work the media to get what you want. You see that skill more so in the veteran coaches than them young bulls. Like for instance, you saw that with Mike McCarthy when they went in off of Dan Quinn's job. He went straight over to Rich Eisen and straight leaked it. You know what I mean? Went straight to it. When Zimmer wanted them DTs, he went. It's those type of skills. It's like it's not even just being the head coach.
And
it's
where's Mike McCarthy now? We ran him off
with his weapons. Who know how to fight the public weapons and the PR weapons and the media weapons? I think it's your veteran coach, not these new booty coaches.
Damn. But you know what,
he ran off when they add Jason on the staff? What if they add Jason Witten to his staff? What you gonna feel like?
Man, stop playing,
Unsullied.
bro. Man, stop playing with me, man.
Unsullied.
But it comes with the territory, man. When you trying to coach under Jerry Jones, man. Here's the thing: you got to always make it like it's Jerry Jones' ideal. You know, if Jerry Jones came up with the ideals to have the curtains up first, then the curtains would have been up there with all type of marketing and sponsor stuff. But somebody came to the ideal and said, hey, Jerry, put some curtains up. And he goes against the grind, right? So somebody got to be, back in the days when I used to work for Pitney Bowes, it was a sales type of job, right? We used to have to sell like some large contracts. And one of the sales trainers told me, is when the client is talking, you in control. When you talking, they are in control, meaning that they are giving you all of the information. You just got to listen softly, right? And they are telling you what the things that they need. They're telling you the problems, and what you have to be is a solution provider. So Jerry, unfortunately, we need to have somebody to act as if though it was his idea to get a Myles Garrett, right? To bring him into the fold, or act as if it's his idea to get a Tyreek Hill here to help out this wide receiving core. And even though those things could be a far stretch, but that's just what we got to do. And I think that Zim, by being in the relation with him longer, maybe he can have an ear to that. Hopefully Schottenheimer or somebody can just sell to Jerry in those particular lights. But that's what we're dealing with, Big. It's hard, dog. It's hard, dog.
You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me, because I called this before the season started, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Didn't I say Zimmer? Didn't I tell you Zimmer?
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Before
I told you
started.
Zimmer.
Yeah,
I said for Zimmer, he's gonna be in the bin head coach.
Dog, because you legendary, Big. You a legendary person to the final word, bro. You very legendary.
Yeah.
But I gotta fight you just a little bit.
Right.
What did you think of the job that he did?
Oh, I wasn't. Great job as the defensive coordinator. Great, outstanding. Considering, he had to get his program in there. He didn't really have what he wanted in the beginning, so he had to struggle with that. I feel like you saw his frustration in the TV when you could tell he wanted some things or whatever. But I told you I was excited toward the end of the year. That Washington game, I was really on fire because the way he was blitzing Jaden Daniels, he wasn't letting him sit in the pocket. He was going after him. Zimmer is an aggressive defensive coordinator. He's going to come at you. He's going to show you different looks. That they say he's one of the best ever. It's the truth. He is one of the best ever. But he wasn't one of the best head coaches ever. But he damn sure was one of the best defensive coordinators ever, right? You're not going to sit there and say Mike Zimmer was one of the best head coaches, but he was a dog as a defensive coordinator with the Bengals. That's why you love him, because he was an animal. You feel what I'm saying? When he came over here, you saw what he implemented on that defensive side. That's why I'm saying, look how great he was there. As a head coach, he was okay. All right? He had keys over there. Minnesota wasn't in their way. They were giving him what he wanted. You feel what I'm saying? And his defenses were still good because he was able to draft who he wanted. That's why his defenses were still good. So that's the main thing you keep hearing from me is okay as a head coach, but fabulous as a defensive coordinator. Why take somebody away from something that they are great at? Keep him where he's at. And if you want to talk about a Schottenheimer, I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, like I said, I believe Schottenheimer is a leader of men. I believe the locker room does respect him. When you listen to him talk, you want to listen to him. When he talks, you want to listen to him, because he doesn't just talk out the side of his neck. He talks about real things. He's talking about real things that happen and things that he really do. And once again, I believe he's a truthful person. So I believe you're always going to see him try to be the best, because of that truthfulness will come out of him. So those are positives that I like about him. And like I said, I like what he implements. And if we're going to go with this is the options right here, as I said before, stay away from that bull crap in Kellen Moore. Stay away from it.
And Jason Witten.
If you're going to meddle, and Jason Witten, but I just feel like he's going to do that. I just feel like he's going to do it. If he stays away from that, I'll be a little bit better. But I'm not tripping off. Like I said, when people were like kind of dogging him on Twitter, Schottenheimer, I'm not one of them. I'm willing to give him a chance. I want him more of a chance for him to be a head coach than Zimmer to be the head coach. I'd rather Zimmer be the defensive coordinator. Let him be the head coach and OC. Garrett did it. I know he got stripped of it, but there's been plenty of coordinators. You think Ben Johnson ain't going to do it? Ben Johnson's going to be the head coach and call his plays.
Right. And see, I'm going to say this and pass it to you, OC, and then we give our final words. Also, be a good case. You made a fantastic case. I think you backed me up a little bit. Because basically what you're saying is don't take him away from where he's exponentially strong to where he could just be good. Keep him where he's exponentially strong. That's what you're saying, So you really not against him at head coach. You about not taking him out of where he's really super effective.
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe that age is a factor to me, no matter if he got a young woman or not. Age is real, y'all. I mean, it is, and that's more hats that you have. Look, it's more hats that you have when you're the head coach. It's more stresses. It is. You see these head coaches that come out here. We seen McCarthy. You just said people go in the graveyard. They get old. They get tired. They get worn out because they're dealing with a lot of stuff as the head coach, and you already have that age factor, and you're going to be dealing a lot with that. Whereas you're not going to have to deal with that as the defensive coordinator. You can continue to implement your year 2 plan, and your defense can be even better.
What if it's a deal breaker?
What you mean?
Head coach or I walk away?
Oh, well, shit. If he willing to walk away, let him walk.
I mean, there ain't other defensive coordinators out there. We begging for a 70, 68-year-old guy. I mean, there's other guys out there.
Well, the way that you painted that picture, though, Brad, because you basically sung his praises when we just asked you, how did he do? That's why I was kind of pushing back at you a little bit. I said, how did he do? Which it has nothing to do with age. It was about how he performed. You glowed for him. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but I also just showed you the case where I don't want him to be the head coach because you're holding on more hats. You're dealing with more things, and the age is a factor.
I don't care about his age based on his performance. That was my point.
Okay.
OC, we've been hogging from you again, man. You need to jump in here. I ain't gonna keep just throwing it back in your lap.
Man, look, you guys are doing so good. I'm sitting back enjoying the show. I'm like a fan, so I'm actually enjoying it. I'm enjoying.
I've been doing the same thing.
Talk, actually. Yeah,
we
so
trying to
no,
talk
listen,
this
man.
through, man. This is a real debate. Like everything that we do, what's your thoughts on this, though, man? Because I raised the case. Big did a good job of beating it up. He did. I ain't gonna lie. Big know how to throw his hands. Like he I think he won that round on me. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get this clear in my head as I sit here and talk. So boss, you want me to marry a woman that's cross-eyed,
man,
and her knees are ashy.
Man, God, who you talking about? Zimmer? You ain't gonna disrespect Zimmer like this.
No, wait, sir, wait. She got a little extra weight in the midsection.
Oh my God.
But wait, boss. But she cooks good. She's loyal. She cleans the house. She's responsible. She's reliable. Right? She's all those things. You're asking me to sacrifice the attraction for the stability. That's what you're asking me to do if you hire Mike Zimmer as the head coach. And so
you want answers?
What I want to say. You have to understand, to Big's really, in my opinion, to Big's strongest point, you have to understand the difference between a department lead and a head lead of a company. It's a difference. And so when you go back through the history of Zimmer, he's been excellent as a motivator, excellent at tough guy football, pretty solid as a org lead, but not elite as an org lead to help teams get to that next level. And that's where I think it's going to fall out a little bit. However, if I'm arguing for your argument, boss, I do see your mindset. I agree with your mindset in terms of, okay, we want a tough football team. We want a physical football team. We want a degree of no nonsense in this football team, right? So the aspect of your mindset and your mental approach about this, I think is great. I just don't think if you're talking about winning long term and getting to, the NFC Championship with a complex organization, managing all of these coaches, and also the bravado, not just energy, but the wisdom and being mentally built for it, I don't think he's that guy. I think that he's great in his department, but I don't think his mental bandwidth goes to an elite level to manage the organization. That's my opinion about him. I could be wrong, but I like your mindset. You're super right in terms of the physicality in terms of the determination, the grit, all those things, spot on. I just don't see him as that guy that is going to lead the team to glory. And I think if you hire him, he's going to be good. You're going to have a good season, right?
Right.
But when it gets tight and when you have to make critical team decisions, I just don't see him, especially at this stage in his career, being that guy.
Man, let me just say this, though, as a disclaimer. No cross-sided woman with a good box and slide in that know how to cook well was harmed during that wonderful, beautiful, soliloquy that the OC just exhibit over there. So shout out to all of the cross-sided women with the good box and the slide in. But I'm going to say this so I can get in. What I'm going to say here, man, is that in Zim's second season, historical data shows that his defense buys in even more. So on the back end of the season, we saw some of that. So if you bring back Zim in any capacity, he saw something that he needed to tweak on because he came in, like he said, soft and then tried to get hard. Pause if necessary. And you said you can't do that. If I had any regrets, I would have came in hard from the start. You got to have heart. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say the rest of it. Yes, indeed. So what I'm going to tell you, man, 8-ball and MJJ. But what I'm going to say here, man, if you're bringing him back, at least you have some continuity with this defense. By far, I think that Michael Parsons had his best season last year. Easily. I mean, like this season, basically, because and team defense too, because he missed 4 games. He missed 4 games, and he still had double-digit sacks. Come on, man.
Man, hey, y'all lied. Y'all got room for one more topic.
You always do this, man. You always do this.
We never covered
every time.
We never covered the thumbnail, bro. We just need to cover it. We can do this at rapid speed.
Go ahead.
The issue is the pattern that's growing of coaches running away, basically saying, I'm good. Like, Joe Witt wrote that his future dream job would be the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys and didn't even interview when his time came. He ran over to Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn literally said, I'm not coming around that corner in terms of wanting a head coaching job in Dallas, so you don't have to worry about it with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy literally walked away and had the Dallas Cowboy job bird in hand. Ben Johnson.
Because they tried to unsully him.
But I'm just saying this growing pattern of I'm good. I'm good.
Double unsullied.
I'm starting to look, man. I think the Dallas Cowboys are Al Bundy, bro. I think they low-key Al Bundy. I think they still talk about them being a quarterback of poke side high, and they living off them glory days of the 90s. And you sell shoes. Yeah, in terms of your outcomes, you sell shoes. So it's like this growing obvious trend of the Dallas, you not as sexy as you think you are. They proven that Troy Aikman was right, that this ain't the attractive job. You not that guy. You not the quarterback that used to be able to pull the 10s whenever you want to. You having successes with the 4s.
Boss, they still holler though after dark, so that's just what it is, man. Somebody gonna come creep it over here and keep it on the down low, man. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Everybody
man.
that
Come
follow
on,
you
man.
at least a 6, so I said 4s.
Boy, they cooking in the chat.
Rapid
boy.
fire, though. We're going to literally take 30 seconds to break this down a piece.
So, boss, I'm going to jump in just real quick, guys. So, look, man, at the end of the day, man, this goes back to my previous point. And I was saying in a nice way that it could be possible that this could be considered a toxic work environment.
Right.
That's
the point.
So at the end of the day, man, do these coaches want to work here if they have other options? And we've seen lately, by and large, no. So we'll see how it plays out, man. But people will take this job for the opportunity, and a lot of times your reputation is greater than your productivity. And I think that the Cowboys in that stage, in terms of winning and organizational excellence, in terms of the football field and winning games, your reputation is keeping you afloat, your marketing, your business savvy, but the productivity and the winning and how that aspect of the business is done is only on some reputation only. It's not based on facts at this point.
Big, do front office get it? Do front office see it? Did Mike McCarthy open them up, basically walking away? They start talking about Witten being his heir apparent, start selling them on that idea. And he said, you know what? He got up and said, I'm good. I'd rather go out there and take my chances. Do they get it now?
No. They ain't never gonna get it. My man is 82 years old. Still the GM.
Man. Oh my God, man. Hey, y'all don't read them comments, man.
Let me go to Law Channel, man.
Oh my God. They said, man, Cowboys became the side piece, not the main chick.
Yup. That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna be sliding in there. We the side piece now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey man, I'm good.
I'm good. Hey, Ben Johnson, you want to interview? Nah, I'm good.
I'm good. Aaron, you ain't finna use me as a token, you know.
I'm
you
good.
got 2 of them.
Bones.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to come back? Nah, I'm good.
Hey, guess what, though? Let me say this, though, Bones. Leslie Frazier said, I'll hit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Leslie Frazier, they interviewed that brother on Dr. Martin Luther King Day. He said, shit, I come by, I slide in there, I slide in that box. Oh my God. That Leslie Frazier, he don't even have a snowball chance to get this jam.
That's an equal opportunity interview. That's an equal opportunity interview. We just show them being fair.
I hit there, I smash across side. They got a good box over. Oh my God! That damn Leslie Frazier. Let me just put the tip in right quick.
All right, man. Let me get my final word.
Oh my God!
Oh, God. Oh man. And see, listen, man. Just like that final word. And laughing to the point of tears. That's what we look like right now. That's what we look like right now.
My God! Come on, let's go.
It's just sad. It's sad. It's real sad. That even if you potentially doing a good thing, because I do believe Brian Schottenheimer is a pretty good thing with great potential. That's what I think he fits so well. Even that, they done scorned our trust so much that we don't trust it. Like we don't. It's like they, they know how to make a good thing just miserable with all the self-made distractions that they put in there. But to me, the overall enemy is really the philosophies that was very, very popular for a while. Never draft a running back in the first. You don't need the running back. You can get anybody in the third to do what a first round back can do. Don't ever sign a veteran back. It was all this disrespect for running back is why we don't even value guys who won. Guys who had Russell Wilson literally with 40 touchdowns. All of us would take Dak with 40 touchdowns a million times. But because we fell in love with the trend of the passing league, we have learned to have a disdain for running games even when it's effective. You know, the popular saying is R2P2, run, pump, pass. And that's not even true. it wasn't even true then. Like, it wasn't even true when they was running the ball with Murray. It wasn't true when they was running the ball with Zeke in 2016. Running game has always been one of the most dependable, solid things you could ever do to an offense. And it's the disrespect. It's the disrespect for the position. It's the disrespect for the physicality of it. It's the disrespect for the coaches who do it. To me, that's why we sitting at where we are sitting at with Brian Schottenheimer, where we don't value him potentially being a perfect piece. That's my final word.
Good final word, boss. Appreciate seeing all y'all. Appreciate seeing you again, OC.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Schottenheimer don't excite me. Ain't nobody gonna excite me. Like, Deion would be the only one where it would intrigue me. But I'm just telling y'all, dog, when I tell you the truth, I'm not excited about Dallas no more.
Yeah.
I want to speak my heart for a minute. I ain't excited about this team. I mean, there was a time when I used to watch Dez Bryant, and I used to watch him and just be excited to watch the game, just like be geeked, you know, feel me? Like, I was just, emotion ran over me, and I was just, couldn't wait till they won the game so I could get on Facebook or call one of my friends, like, you see what we just did, you feel me? Like, I used to really be like that. I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like the dude, Zach, that was talking on 105 The Fan.
Yep.
I'm like him.
Yep.
I am a Cowboys fan for life. I'm not going anywhere. I can't like anybody else. But I don't be messing with them Joneses. And I just, like, when I watch the players, before I was excited. When I watch them and they do good, I'm like, yes, you know, because I'm happy because it's the Cowboys. You feel me? But I don't have that. That's what I'm talking about, Mike. That's what I'm talking. I don't have that no more. I'm just keeping it real. I don't have that any longer with these Cowboys. I don't have any hope in the future. And people say, well, why are you a Cowboys fan? Because I'm allowed to be. So you don't tell me what to do with my fandom. But in my own heart, it's just, it's like that song, The Thrill Is Gone. The thrill is gone. And I watch my team just looking at it like, that shit ain't gonna change. So I'm just gonna watch them to watch them. And until I see real change, which I don't think I've skipped on saying this for years and years and years, and it's still going on. So, hey, I watch my boys. We talk about them. But even when I'm going to the draft, it's different. And that's just real. That's all I can just tell you. It's different. I like watching the draft of players and that. But now I don't have that, okay, yeah, Cowboys drafted, we're going to be right back at it. I don't have that anymore because they took that from me. And that's my final word.
The best one ever.
Yeah, I think that the Cowboys are running down the pathway of being an average football team. They have a lot of needs. And my concern is that they're not going to be aggressive enough or spend the money or make the necessary moves to fill those needs. And everything hinges and falls on leadership. So at the end of the day, you need a great leader in this organization. I don't think that we have the executive leadership. So then the head coach is going to have to be a great leader and be empowered to do that. So I think that's the foundation of the Cowboys having a chance to be very competitive and get back in the playoffs. So right now, the way they're trending as of today, they're trending toward average team activities. And so it's going to be their decision on if they're going to be content with that in the marketing and the fanfare of Dallas Cowboys being Dallas Cowboys, or if they want to go all in and actually try to do something significant to make a push in this NFC East. That's my final word.
Man, great final words, man. And before I say my final word, I just want to say to Big Game James, I know your pain, bro. I've been knowing you for going on 9 years, bro.
Yep.
And in all of those 9 years, you said to me, the team that you hate the most
Washington
is them damn Redskins. Yep. And that's the Washington team. And now this weekend, you finna have both of the teams that you can't stand, but ultimately the Washington team. And we knowing in the future, the predestined things that we're not going to do is going out here in this free agency and do stuff. And the team that you can't stand going to have $90 million in the free agency. So this may be the worst Washington team you ever see, because they're going to get better. They got $90 million, and they're not going to do like the Dallas Cowboys did in 2017 and draft a taco, right, and take away pieces from their quarterback. They're going to add to. And we already know Howie is on the phone now, already talking to Myles Garrett saying, hey, how much money, So we as the Cowboys, we got to figure out how to catch lightning in the bottle, right? We got to see if we can get the right pieces on the coaches, and we are doing the exact same thing that we've been doing for the last 30 years. We got 4 playoff wins in the last 30 years. That's a long time, man, of being in this spot. That's longer than Jay Leno's chin, of all of the disappointments that we have here with the silver and blue. And I want to give a shout out to Scammy Davis as well as the Good Hoodie for y'all super chats. I appreciate y'all.
Take some money out.
Appreciate y'all so much, man. But I just want to say this, Cowboy Nation and everybody that's watching, I know I'm optimistic guy. I'm going to always say keep your head up. The draft is a crap shot. We know that. Hopefully we can find a way to get another Parsons, or we can find another way to get another youthful like Ezekiel Elliott type. Those first 3 or 4 years that Zeke was here, right? Hopefully we can find that running back to match up and marry up with Shotty if he's going to be here, and we bring run game to the table and we figure out ways to win defensively as well as offensively. But man, please, for the love of God, I think that the Giants are a quarterback away too. You know what I'm saying? Because they got $45 to $50 million available to spend. And if they fool around and get a Cam Ward and you mix them up with Malik Neighbors, woo! We gonna have an uphill battle to fight. We got an uphill battle to fight. And Jerry, it's all about the money. It's not about winning. And he even said it on his Netflix document. You know what I'm saying? That's about to come out. So it's hard to find positivity with this team, unfortunately, because who's in charge of this team is really hurting the Cowboys' love affair with the fans to the team.
And Darius said with the super chat, he said, says a lot when Herbert had his worst career under Kelly. Also, when you're number one on the sideline reading, talking about A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
No Kelly Moore.
No Kelly Moore. He ain't lying.
Hashtag no Kelly Moore. I agree.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her